Swale. Swale is a floating food forest where people can come to pick fresh food for free. So you're welcome to pick anything on here. There are a lot of edibles. There are also medicinal plants. Part of the point of Swale is to get onto the water, to get people onto the water, to get excited about the watery space of New York City and also the plant life and the soil, what goes into making an ecosystem work, and how we could have edible spaces like this in New York City in public parks. Swale comes from the word bioswale. It means a place in the land where water collects, and we're using it here kind of just state the opposite. It's a place in the water where land collects. We're on a barge. It's a 5,000 square foot barge. It's 140 by 30 feet, and it moves all of the time. Right now we're moving because of all the boat action at the Brooklyn Army Terminal. There are cruise ships that come in here. There are day cruises. The New York City ferry comes in through here, so we're rocking all the time. That's part of the experiential piece of Swale. It's not only that you're able to come to floating land on the water, but that you really experience it moving. And I think that the experiential part is twofold. It's you're picking plants, you're eating plants from a moving structure. It's like an architectural folly. It's out of place in the city in so many ways, and to be here is to experience something different. It's been illegal to grow and pick food in public spaces in New York City. And part of the reason we did this on the water was so we could get around that law. This is lovage. And you can eat it. Sort of like celery. Baby grapes. This is in the onion family. Becomes a beautiful flower, and you can also eat the stem. This one's smokable. It's mullein. It's supposed to be good for your lungs, actually. These are sunchokes. These are a type of artichoke, a wild artichoke.
For us, we're trying to talk about foraging in public space. Silence with admit. So currently in New York City parks, you're not allowed to forage anything. It's called destruction of property, is what they say. So we're trying to have this conversation about what it means to steward public land, not just take all of the food and all of the medicine and all of the fruit, but actually take care of those plants and take care of that land in a way that's taking care of our common home and paying attention to what's there and why.
Hey, do you want to come up to see the apple orchard?
Go. The difference between this kind of art and gallery art is that this is a public art installation. Right? And Mary has a studio practice. She does exhibit in galleries. I've in fact curated exhibitions of her work in gallery spaces too, but often in a context where she's also working in public. So you could see it as public art, so it is a big public sculpture. You could also see it as, what we currently call social practice, where it's a project that she invites her audiences in to engage with the project in very real and dynamic ways too.
When we first started, we asked people to sign their name as part of a petition for public food that we would present to the city, and also what they wanted to see growing in their parks. So when we had that information, we started to plant some of those plants on Swale to make it a more usable space. What we had in the beginning was what we could gather for free from partners, and when we had been around for a little bit longer, we had some funding from smaller grants, and we were able to actually buy some plants that people really wanted, and that made this place a lot richer. Swale is really about public food, and thinking about what New York could look like with a public food initiative. Our ideal is that there would be lots of forageable spaces all around New York City, so you could be on your lunch break and you could pick apples from a tree, and the health that is in that apple that's fresh off of the tree, as opposed to being in a supermarket and sitting on a shelf for weeks, is just enormous.